I'd like to start today's stream out with saying that if you are watching this, you are among the elite people on this planet because you are interested in chess. And that right there makes you the new 1%. With that being said, we got the semifinals. I'm sorry, this is the quarterfinals. Semifinals today. We have the quarterfinals, Gukesh versus Hikaru, 3-game matchup. We're going to go through the 2 games that mattered. One of them was a draw. Let's get into it. So, nice typical D4 opening. I believe Black's playing Nimzo Indian defense here. And we get the violent variation, the one that comes with the capture. And nice positioning here of the pawns. Nice big center, nice big white center. And Gukesh is playing this very aggressive, very Alpha Zero like H pawn push up the board. Hikaru's just like, dude, I'm not scared, I guess. He's just like, whatever, you can throw that pawn up. I'm gonna act like it's not happening and just play chess. And Gukesh is trying to infiltrate and create Hikaru's infiltrating, trying to create problems, creating some liquidation. And then nice move here with the knight come back. For the trained people, this move's probably not all that impressive. Actual computer move is queen takes f6, but I like this move saying, hey, we're going to take back on my own on my terms, says Gukesh. Bring the knight in. The knight is nice and centralized. I like it. It's not the right move, but I like the move. Here the bishop take, and then Gukesh plays his first mistake, f3. Computer wanted rook, then d5, and then bishop takes. That's what the computer wanted. That's the first big mistake. As you can see, the eval bar starts dipping in favor of Hikaru. Gameplay continues. We get a little bit of liquidation here. Gukesh trying to keep the pawn structure alive somewhat best he can. Hikaru lodges the rook inside the middle of the board with using the pawn, double up pawns, and then Gukesh plays his first blunder of the game. 92. Computer was asking for rook takes c4, rook takes c4, and then rook b4. Basically liquidating, trying to bail out of this position. This is the best bet for white. Basically saying if Hikaru doesn't have any pieces, maybe I have a chance of winning here. Or drawing at the very least. That doesn't happen. 92 is played. Hikaru plays a mistake, f6. The computer plays a very, maybe it's not an intuitive position. Maybe you find this in a traditional time format, but the computer wanted the knight check first. And this looks funny because you have the rooks here and they were connected, but now they're no longer connected. And the computer is basically saying is after d2, then you play knight a4 going after this pawn. And this is good. As you can see, the knight can't be dislodged by any pawns. It can't be kicked. And this is good. This is good for black. And this pawn is weak. Anyway, it doesn't happen. f6 is played. Get a series of moves here. As you can see here, Hikaru's basically like looking at the 2 passed pawns and saying, well, if I can get rid of that white rook, that's going to make promoting a pawn much easier. And that's exactly what Hikaru does. Slowly repositions his pieces. Here, Gukesh plays his final mistake. As you can see, eval bar completely dies here, or almost completely dies here. Computer is asking to block the pawn. It's still a losing position, but much better than the f5 played. And Hikaru just winds this endgame down masterfully. And as you can see here, after this move, there's nothing White can do, Gukesh can do to stop this. He's got 7 seconds left on the clock as of this play. Hikaru has 47 seconds. And this pawn's ready to push. And there's nothing you can do. Once that pawn pushes, the rest of the pawns push. So with that said, Hikaru won the first game. We're going to go into the second game. Hikaru with the white pieces. This game starts off very interesting opening here by Hikaru. It looks like one of his disrespect speedrun openings, or Botez Gambit pawn structure is what I'm seeing here. It's a very conservative play, but very tactical, very smart. It's a good thing to do when, you know, you're up, I guess. You know, you're playing kind of conservative, you're playing safe. But, I mean, just look at his pieces. He's got the double, as Hikaru likes to call him, the double op combo. You know, taking down the very dragon style. Obviously, the bishop's on their strongest diagonal, the long diagonal. Except when the bishops are pointed at the king, like the f7 square, when you get the bishop here, and as you can see, usually in the Roy Lopez. But it's just a great position for White. Hikaru, as you can see, all of his pieces are developed off the back rank. Gukesh, the same thing here. And then Hikaru finally plays the first move that is pretty much committal. Trying to open up the position here. I don't understand why Gukesh would castle here. Computer wanted to block this bishop with the pawn and then castle. Personally, the reason why I don't like castling is because of exactly what happens here. But computer says this is perfectly even. I don't like it. And then Hikaru starts pushing pawns, and then Gukesh finds this very brilliant move. And basically the problem with or the tactic here is that pawn can't take, because after that you lose the queen. Queen's pinned to the knight. So very tactical move here. And then Gukesh plays the first blunder of the game. Well, what Gukesh was supposed to do here was stay in line with the fact that he had the rook on the open king, and daring White to take the pawn. Because if, for example, correct play here was e4, and if you take that knight, then we get the discovered check here after king d1. You can look at the eval bar there, and black is winning. Black is up 1.7 to be exact. And mostly because of just poor positioning by White. This position's blasted open. This pawn is weak. This pawn is taking up squares. But Gukesh unfortunately does not see that and decides to take on this bishop, and then it's just pretty much downhill from here. After the queen takes, you open up the position, and then it's just tempo. Not going to go into some of the nuances of these positions. Here, I love this move. This is very much technique. You know, looking here, amateur wise, you'd go ahead and snatch that pawn, but then you run into a check, and then your knight comes back, and then now your opponent's doubling rooks or something, or who knows what could happen. But Hikaru plays the very principled rook b1. If you notice, you look at the king is just safe over here. It's like, why would I disturb this knight? The knight's in a great position. It's watching this square here. You know, it's in a good position. Why move it when I can develop the rook? The rook's pretty much donezo over here. The rook's not doing anything in the corner over here. This pawn doesn't need protection. This knight is in jail. Knight is in jail. Look at the squares of this knight. It can't go anywhere. His own pawn's blocking him. So Gukesh, basically, this knight is not involved. So because this knight isn't involved, you don't have to involve your knight. You can let the rooks play this game out. And that's what happens. But now, finally, Hikaru gets his knight activated. We get a fianchetto, take situation going on there. And then this beautiful move, knight f7, basically preparing check. Gukesh loses another pawn. And then we just have masterful endgame happening here. Little tactic there by Hikaru. Little tactic here by Hikaru. I like this tactic. This tactic is very, very interesting. So you get a discovered check, right? You take the rook, and it's just a fork, and I went back to rook with tempo. And then this is where the end game is just absolutely sexy. Hikaru comes back, defends the pawn. And then here I guess he could have traded, but no. Check. Play some endgame here. Move the king around. And then this beautiful move. I love this move because obviously your pawn is under attack here. Gukesh has 9 seconds left on the clock. Hikaru has 43 seconds. And Hikaru says, I don't have to defend that pawn. You have to defend your king. You're in check. After the king moves, then I simply move the pawn up. Revealed check on the king. Notice revealed check on the king also comes with protecting the pawn. Gukesh moves. I love this move right here. This is another very technical move. Basically, this is Hikaru clearing the way for his pawn. Brings the king back calmly, clears the way for his pawn. And there goes the pawn. And after this move, with 6 seconds left on the clock for Gukesh, 21 seconds left on the clock for Hikaru, Gukesh resigns basically because, you know, after check, let's say you go here, you're going to bring the rook in. And that's it. Once you get the rooks behind your pawn, this pawn is going to queen. And if you trade off, let's say, like so, you can simply come here and check, check. And then here is probably the final move. And it's over. This pawn is going to queen. And there's nothing you can do about that. Absolutely nothing you can do about that. The third game was a draw, and Hikaru is off to the semifinals. I believe those games are played today. I hope you enjoyed this match, and I hope you're getting better at chess, and I hope you enjoyed this recap. If you're having trouble calculating your moves, you might need a little bit of assistance, and that's where we come in. Master Focus, 100% herbal nootropic. Clean that brain out and get it promoting the growth of dendrites, promoting some neurological activity, get those synapses and neurons activated. So if you guys want to go ahead and do that, go over to Try Master Focus and get 30% off of your membership now. I'll see you in the next recap.
Didn't listen to me then, I bet they feel me now. Time don't let me lose it. The booth not about to prove it. I set goals and pursue it. You the best to never do it. Invest my money talking fluent, stupid, ducking the Judas. It broke my heart, but over my eyes, you have no honor, I have no choice. chasing the commas till I'm gone. I've been left for a minute. On my way home, mama, I promise, got caught up in it. Damn. Everybody eats when I'm batting at the plate. First, second, third, home, $1 million bet.